Commissioner Ellis.
Here.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Lark. Commissioner Lark. Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Ruddy. Commissioner Sweeney.
Here.
One last time. Commissioner DeBunda.
Here.
Commissioner Lark. Commissioner Ruddy. Mr. Chairman, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you to the commission. Thanks to our guests for being here. We'll get updates from our from the tracks, the license presentations here in a moment. Just want to welcome everybody. We do have a quorum as noted. This meeting is properly advertised in accordance with the Sunshine Law. And by way of notice, the commission conducted an executive session earlier today to engage in a quasi-judicial deliberation to be adjudicated at a public meeting and engage in attorney-client privilege communication. So with that, commissioners, you have the October 28th minutes. Do I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Commissioner Brenheiser with the motion. Commissioner Ellis in the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, presentation. Let's jump into the Racing Fund October financials. Tom?
Before I actually do the financials, just part of this so everyone's aware, the budget had passed a week or so ago. From the racing perspective, racing did well. The sunset provision was extended to 6/30/28. That included retro language that allowed bills to be paid going back to July 1st of 25. The spending authority was set at 14.9. The transfer was set at 15.3. Two other things. The previous transfer of about $5 million that went out of the fund paddles is now no longer. It's GGO money that will fund paddles. That money stays with the industry. And at one point in time, the fairs were also funded out of it. That remains with GGO. The overarching view with the statements, you're going to see negatives and so on. It's just a matter of time before it straightens out. There's been no transfers from the Racehorse Development Trust Fund at this time. So it'll take a couple months to catch up, since they will not pay in one lump sum everything in the past. It'll be doubled up as we go each month. So saying that, I'll start with the racing fund. Beginning cash balance is a negative 833. Commission revenue was 480. Expenditures were $1,005,000, which leaves an ending cash balance of $1,850,000. Onto the commission statement. Total revenue is 480. Total operating was 58,000 for total expenditures of 537. There's nothing out of line there. Moving on to the testing. As I stated previously, there has been 0 transfers made at this time. Personnel costs are 468,000. Total operating is 462. Total expenditures are 931. The 445 is PETRL for the month of August. That has not been paid yet. It has not been approved, but it's been encumbered. Just I want to touch on one issue that people have asked. Obviously, on the thoroughbred side, recognize the fact that what was originally allocated by this commission for PETRL for thoroughbred forensic testing, they were suspended in July. Industrial has picked it up. Since the lab is not a sample by sample, it is personnel, operating, administrative, and equipment. In discussions with Dr. Robinson, the spend last year was 6.9. She took them over $1 million out to make it 5.9 for this year. That $1 million will go to pay industrial. There'll be no double dipping. There'll be no additional funding. Moving on to promotions, there's obviously no transfer. The transfer will be about a little over $1.8 million. The entities have been advised of the numbers. Currently, we're working on new grant agreements. They've expired on 6/30/2025. Hopefully, they'll be out in the next week or two for the entities to sign. At that point, then we'll start processing whatever you spent. The $19,000 is from the fairs. On to the comparative statement. It's somewhat skewed because of the funding. This year for 25, it's a little over $4 million. Last year at this time is 6.7, but you'll notice over $3 million is the difference on the Research Development Trust Fund. Total operating expenses last year, or this year, were almost 2.7. Last year they were 3.3. Total expenditures of 7.2 versus 7.5. And the last three accounts are the Thoroughbred breeders, Standardbred breeders, and the sire stakes program. Those funds have been received. Those accounts have been receiving funds since July 1st. They weren't impacted by the budget. That's the financial report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Tom. Questions? Financials? Comments?
Second.
Well, we don't need a motion on it, just want to make sure. Any questions? Let me just underscore, we've all sort of struggled with the spending authority, the transfer numbers, the sunset provision, and all of that. So I look at the racing fund and the program as sort of the winner in this budget. Gives us some predictability, at least on the short run. So thank you all for your help there. Seeing no questions, we'll move on. Okay, how about HISA?
HISA update, two pieces real quick. The 2025 assessment and credits were done. The industry was notified. The commission sent a finalized IGA and LSA to HIWU. That's still pending, but what we did was the extensions that we had currently done throughout the year were set to expire November 4th. We've extended it to 12/31, which will allow us to negotiate new agreements for 2026. There are three agreements the commission has. One is a racetrack safety program. That's simply an MOU. I don't foresee anything there. The IGA is the test barn, which covers the test barn costs, the personnel costs, the vet costs, and the last piece is the LSA. That is for the lab. TBD, we'll see what happens. We'll negotiate and we'll go from there. Hopefully in the next week or so we'll have more contact with HIWU and I can provide an update. Keep going.
Any questions, comments? Okay.
PETRL suspension. As I mentioned previously, on July 8th, PETRL had notified of deficiencies from HIWU. They made a response. HIWU came back to them and asked for more information. PETRL responded on October 27th. Response from HIWU is pending. Right now, PETRL is completing the Standardbred forensic testing, the Standardbred research, the Thoroughbred research. All forensic testing is being done by industrial. Any questions on the suspension?
No questions. I guess we're still in this waiting, holding pattern. Is that fair?
That's fair.
With some hope of this month or December getting some direction.
I mean, I have a call into Mr. Mosier, and hopefully I'll hear from him, but obviously PETRL has taken the deficiency seriously. They have responded on multiple accounts. Right now the ball is in HIWU's court to see if they've been satisfied. I'm assuming at some point they'll send somebody in, hopefully in the near future, to basically confirm or audit that what PETRL's changes are actually in place. And optimistically, we hope PETRL will be back in operation by January 8th, which is the 6-month suspension.
All right. Again, just a note, thanks to Tom and Tony for navigating the negotiations and conversations. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the 3-year race meet license presentations. We'll begin with Mohegan Sun at Pocono. If you don't mind, just join us at the table here. For everyone's awareness, as long as the green light is on the roof, the ceiling here, It's live, so there's no microphones. Just introduce yourself for the stenographer, please. Okay?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Anthony Palucci, President of the PDA.
Good morning. My name is Ron Kershaw. I'm the Director of Compliance at the PDA.
Mike Zellner, MIKEZULLINGBR, Director of Racing and Sportsbook at the PDA.
There will be some spelling for you.
Absolutely, sorry for that. Palucci, CARLUCCI.
And Ron Kershaw, last name CHRZAN.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Again, our racetrack has been in operation for 60 years, since July of 1965. Our Allentown Racing Sportsbook has been in operation since 1993, and Mohegan has successfully operated both the racetrack at Pocono and our Allentown Racing Sportsbook since 2005. Mohegan, Pennsylvania respectfully requests the Commission approve the renewal of our 3-year racing license. For our 2026 schedule of events, live racing is scheduled for February 14th, 2026 through November 1st, 2026. Day 1 p.m. post time on Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. We will have a Sunday night post time to be determined within the next week or so. In February, we're starting up right away with our game of claims this year. In April 26th, we'll begin our Bobby White Lakes closers. Our Sun Stake Saturday this year will be in August 22nd, 2026. Our 2-year-old Tire Stake Finals will be held in September. And our Simpson Memorial Stakes for 2 and 3-year-olds will be held in October. On Derby Day and our Sun Stakes, every year we take events on the Aprons Racetrack Apron, which includes the Derby Hat Review, food trucks, and other family-oriented activities. We're continuously searching for new events, family-fun events to hold on the apron for our guests. The free cast performance downloads from our PHHA website continue to show growth year after year. It's a good sign from our players. We will collaborate with our partners at Harrah to gain some exposure on Fox Sports for a Sun Stake Saturday, and possibly have a cross wagering event. And we're going to have our Caretakers Day again in November of 2026. For racing improvements and initiatives, we purchased software and graphics package to upgrade our tow board on the infield. We've upgraded all of our tow equipment to the newest versions for the past few years. And in 2026, we're also going to upgrade our iPad to the newest GTX version that's out. Our simulcast and clubhouse seating areas were recently upgraded. We're exploring an upgrade of our simulcast facility with the addition of large screen TVs for the next few years. And multiple upgrades and improvements are currently underway at our Allentown PDA. We continue to collaborate with the judges, drivers, track crew to ensure the safest racing service possible. Daily monitoring of our pari-mutuel pools to ensure the integrity of the sport. And we offer guaranteed pools to increase attention and play for our product. In conclusion, over the past 60 years, Mohegan's facility has successfully operated and been a leader in the horse racing industry. Mohegan will continue to support this racing facility and promote the sport. Mohegan is respectfully requesting the Commission approve the renewal of our 3-year racing license. Renewal of this license is in the best interest of the public and the horse racing industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, comments?
I'd like to ask a question. On your computer-assisted wagering, when is the cutoff time between when you can take bets and when the actual race contest begins?
So betting can continue right up till we stop, right till the race begins.
Is there any consideration for separating those two times, delaying, not delaying, but cutting off prior to the actual start of the race?
We can look into that.
Have you ever looked into it?
Not currently, no.
That is happening around the country. I guess you're aware of that.
Yeah,
right?
computer assisted wagering is quite large.
No, but I mean the post time being different than the cutoff time. It is being done at other tracks. I guess you're aware of that, are you?
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question. There's a separate.
The fact that there is a different time for stopping the wagering from CAWs and the start of the race.
Okay. I was unaware of that. No.
I think it's something that we'd like you to look into anyway.
Okay, we can do that. Sure.
Other questions, comments? Thoughts? This is your moment, right? This is
I don't understand it. I'm not familiar with it. What is the reason for that?
Because you have computer money coming in, changing the odds. You could have made a bet at 8-1, find out that it's really only a 4-1 bet because of the time delay.
It's usually 2 minutes between when they cut off CAW and when they run the race. I mean, that's just an approximation, but that's the way most of them are doing it.
I will look into that.
Thank you.
The idea, of course, being that it's, the CAW is very detrimental to the individual bettor.
We don't want to lose that money, but we don't want to insult the ordinary bettor by finding out that he thought he was getting 8-1 and he gets 4-1 when the race begins.
Other questions on the renewal question? Given the sort of rare opportunity we have to sort of see you and talk to you a little bit, this is not about the renewal. This is just like, I think all of us are looking at this industry and how it's changed, whether it's 60 years or 6 years, right? It just continues to evolve. Your crystal ball, I mean, when you look at this, what's the future look like? I mean, help us sort of understand, from the operator standpoint, when you look forward 3 years and beyond, like what does it look like? It's an open-ended question intentionally, just for perspective.
We continue to try to educate people as they come in, new players, get them into the sport. As I mentioned, we try to have activities to interest new people into the sport. We have seen some cross-play at our Allentown Racing Sportsbook in that sports player to play the horses, explain to them how to wager. So I think it's a matter of education of the younger generation, the newer generation on actually how to play, because it can be intimidating to look at a program for the first time and wonder what do all these numbers mean, or what's the difference between a trifecta and exacta, a superfecta. So I think it all begins with education.
I'd like to comment as well.
Yeah, please.
The racetracks supports the casino supports the racetrack. So one of our opportunities is to bring more people to the casino or racetrack. So we're doing more and more things as far as non-gaming to attract people. As an example, remember, on Thursday nights in the summertime from May 1st until mid-September, we'll be partying the patio on Thursday night. We'll draw 5,000 people. Now, it's not on a race day, but people see our track. They see that, so even if you get like 1%, 2%, it's still more than we had before. We're expanding. We have an outside patio that turned into a bar. And many times people will go bet on the races and then go sit at the bar, in an atmosphere where we have TVs that show the racetracks as they're happening. So we're doing more and more things to attract people just to come to the brick and mortar casino or racetrack, right? Because we're in competition with, and we have our own standard, for online gaming, there's competition. The skill games that are popping up, there's competition. So we have to do more and more things to attract people to the casino/racetrack, or vice versa, racetrack/casino, to get people to come. And that's what part of this one. I believe the industry's going to do more and more of that, because gamble on Thursday. right? So we have to come up with ways where it's not just gambling, it's entertainment.
Tony, on that point about the party on the patio, have you thought about trying to do that on the live race day? You actually have the live racing going on, see if that gets the people in, or is it just not?
Well, not impossible, right? The challenge is, because we have to set up the stage, we have to set this up, we have to set that up. To do that, it's difficult, but not impossible. But I'm certainly willing to try that. The same thing, like we can do some outside concerts. You know, the risk involved with an outside concert is if it rains, you know, I don't say they are, but you know, it's basically. But I mean, but like I said, let's look into that and see if there's a way to do that. Because again, you're drawing thousands of people depending on the date, depending on their trip. We only use trip tickets, right? There's actually, you don't charge, they don't charge anything for people to come. That's what draws that. So I think that's an opportunity to try that.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're just very interested in the conversation with you. I think we all recognize that, you know, there's a symbiotic relationship here between horsemen, racing, tracks, the systems, and no one's exempt from the pressures that we see, right? The options for gaming, options for wagering, entertainment. Everybody must be entertained. How do you get more people in the door? Right? The commission's put some promotion and marketing money up the last couple of years. And, I think with mixed results, it's hard to tell. And we'd like to continue that conversation.
I'm certainly willing to come more often and recommend for whoever, and let you know what we're focused on. I'm more than happy to do that.
It'll be helpful.
Anytime.
Other questions? Okay, great, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think PARX, racetrack,
Good morning, Jerry.
good to see you.
Commissioners. I'm Joe Wilson, Jowilson. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of PARX Racing.
And I am Sarah Stoner with the law firm of Petitions. My name is spelled SARAHSTONER. We are here today on behalf of Greenwood Racing, Inc. and its two licensees, Penn National Racing Association and Keystone Turf Club, which we may refer to as PARX or PARX Racing. We are here to respectfully request that the Commission renew the 3-year live race fee licenses. As highlighted in our August 2025 formal written request for renewal, PARX is highly suitable and qualified to continue to hold horse racing licenses. We have a brief presentation for you today, and I'll ask Joe to share the history of Greenwood Racing, Inc., highlights from this past year of racing, and various investments made to the track. And I'll turn the presentation over to you, Joe.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sorry, is that a presentation online, or is that
You have the,
just a print copy?
yeah, just the print copy that you guys have. I won't bore you by reading everything in there. As you know, Greenwood bought the track in 1990, and opened and operated 6 OTBs along with the foam bet, which was the account wagering system. We've had slot machines in the grandstand from 06 to 09, generating revenue for both purses and the ability to build a new casino, which opened in 09. We then, in 2010, rebranded the racetrack and renovated the entire grandstand, and then named it PARX Racing. We currently have 5 graded stakes, including 2 $1 million grade 1 races in the PA Derby and the Cotillion. We continue to race 150 days a year at pretty much the same purse level, which is really tough to do these days. This past PA Derby, we had our second highest handle at $17.8 million for the day. The prior one coming a couple years earlier, and a couple years earlier, 2 and 3 years earlier, was kind of, post-COVID, digging out of that, where handles were a lot higher everywhere at that time. We have spent over $40 million on improvements since 2006. All new barns, renovated the dorm rooms, completely redid the jocks room, walking ring, winter circle, rider protection rail, redid the detention barn. This past year, we put in all new tow terminals and new LED digits on our tow board.
As indicated in the information provided today and in our formal written request for renewal of the live racing licenses, PARX Racing has demonstrated a consistent commitment to promoting, developing, and improving the horse racing industry in Pennsylvania. PARX utilizes high-quality equipment and security measures to safeguard and promote the integrity of the movement. And as Joe indicated, Greenwood Racing Inc. has made considerable investments in and improvements to the racing facility. For those reasons, renewal of the licenses to conduct horse race meetings will provide for continued benefits to the Commonwealth. The renewal is consistent not only with the public interest, but also the best interest of horse racing in Pennsylvania. We respectfully request that the Commission renew the 3-year live racing licenses and appreciate your time and consideration of the matter. And we welcome any questions.
Thank you for the presentation.
I have one question, if I may ask it.
Commissioner, go ahead,
noticed
please.
that excuse me?
Go ahead, Commissioner DeBundo.
Yeah, I noticed that the Penn application includes a letter from the horseman supporting the request for renewal. But I don't see that in the package that I see for PARX Racing. I think Jeff Madden's on. The question is there support from the horsemen's group for the racetrack to get this renewal?
Thank you, Commissioner DeBunder. We are 100% fully on board. We appreciate the partnership, and we look forward to the next 3 years and well beyond that.
Okay, would you document that in some kind of document if you haven't already with PARX so that we have it for our files?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Other questions, comments about the 3-year license renewal?
Same question as I asked the other fellows, Joe. What is your time? Is there a delay between the time the CAW's money comes in and the start of the race?
We do not currently have a delay on that, Commissioner.
Is that under any consideration?
So we're looking at that. Everyone knows that that's a very large chunk of the amount of money that's wagered,
Right.
and it's most likely going to continue to grow. The 3 tracks that have experimented with cutting them off at 2 minutes to post or 1 minute to post, they're cutting off the win wagering. The percentage that win wagering is of that amount is very small. Computer assisted wagering, they look for values. They have algorithms that are written to look for, again, value in an exacta, a trifecta, a superfecta. It's not about win wagering. Unfortunately, if a large wager comes in that last second and it's in the win pool, you could see quite a bit of a change in those odds. It also goes the other way, because it's still a horse race. They still have to pick the winner. And basically nobody really complained when the horse went from 3-1 to 6-1, because you're getting more money. So it's more apparent when those odds do go down. But again, and tracks are looking at that. They're looking at other ways to stop that, massive infusion of money into those pools as the gate is opening, which is perfectly legal. It's been that way for 100 years. But again, those win wagers are not, other than affecting the odds, if they do in fact happen to get a large wager on the winner, it's really so much more spread out. So, and they're still looking. People are going to try other things, and certainly we'll keep a close eye on it to see if there's a way to, either stop that or kind of soften it so that you know, let's face it, your question is because it's all about public perception. And, you know, we all take that very seriously. And if there's something we can do to curb that, we will. But obviously, I don't think anybody, you know, is ready to say, hey, we're just gonna stop this altogether.
Well, as long as you're looking at it, that's important to
Yes,
us.
absolutely.
Question number 2, what's the status of the turf course?
So we are working with our horsemen on a project that we are expecting to begin in March to basically resurface that turf course. And the goal is to be back on that turf when we come back from our break in the middle of the summer.
Do you know what specifically they're doing about the turf course? Are they gonna reseed it, or are they going?
No. So we're taking it away and putting a new one in.
New one being sod?
Sod. Yeah.
Check with the guys at Fair Hill about how the sod works. 'Cause
We basically have hired the person that takes care of the turf courses at Pimlico, Laurel, and Gulfstream Park. So he's one of the top turf guys in the country.
But none of them are dealing with sod.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely they do. So this side will come from Tuckahoe, which is one of the leading suppliers of sod to both racetracks and, you know, sports fields in general.
Also-
Question number 3.
Question number 3. Torpedo, is that ever in the future at PARX?
You know, it gets talked about. You know, unfortunately, you're looking at my racetrack to put a torpedo track in. You're looking at pretty close to probably $10 million, which is as we know, is a significant investment. And you know, certainly we'll continue to look at that, but that cost has to come down.
Well, I'm glad you're looking at it. Thank you.
So a similar question to the team, like when you look forward, right? What crystal ball, help us out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you see?
you know, looking forward, you're looking at a lot of things that are affecting horse racing, not just here, but everywhere. You know, diminished foal crop, everything. You know, our strength for several years has been our schedule, the amount of days we run, the amount of races that we run, the number of entries that we get. And, you know, we're pretty good at getting full fields coming out, and we need to continue to do that. We need to work with the horsemen and get, you know, 10 races a day. I know it's wishful thinking, 10 races a day, 12 horses a race. Because at that point, your sign out, which is other people betting on your racing, is generating revenue. That's where the revenue is being generated today for just about everybody. You know, unless you want to run a 6 or 7 week boutique meet like a Del Mar or a Saratoga, or 32 days like Keeneland does, you're really relying on your product. We are a content provider. You know, the other things are great. You know, Kentucky Derby, if you come to our track on Kentucky Derby, it's great. You see, you know, lots of families, lots of young people all dressed up. I get the same thing on PA Derby. It's tough to do that when you're running year round, when you're running 150 days of racing. You can't duplicate that every day. So you have to pick and choose the days that will work good for you, and the people will come out, they'll have a good time, and they'll decide that they want to come back. But right now, I think the biggest thing is that everybody continues to work together, because there's a lot of outside forces affecting us. HISA being one of them, which is a very expensive endeavor there, let's put it that way. So again, it's strengthening your product so that you can do other things.
Joe, this year you ran Pennsylvania Day right next to Pennsylvania Derby.
We did.
What's your impression on was that successful for you?
It was from a handle perspective. I think what happens is, you know, and you can obviously ask, you know, Brian when he comes up to give his report on how the breeders felt about having that day. But yeah, running that Friday, having all that, and then into Saturday. But one might have taken away from the other. So, you know, we tried that. And I think this year we're going to do it and we're probably gonna do it on Saturday, is that right, Brian?
July 18th.
Yeah, yeah, so, but I thought it was great. But again, if you wanna try to get, one may have taken away from the other, just because now it's a large group of people that are coming there 2 days in a row instead of, I come there in July and then we gotta get another day in September.
Gotcha, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Right, thank
Appreciate it, thank you. Okay, Harris?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Stephen D. Schreier with law firm Frank Rome on behalf of Harrah's, Chester Downs, and Marina LLC. It's Stephen with a PH, SCHRIER. And with me today is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Harrah's Philadelphia, Zara Lyon. I'll let her give you her spelling.
ZARAALAYAN.
And also Barry Brown, the Director of Racing Operations.
Barry Brown, BARRYBROWN, Director of Racing Operations.
So before you today, you have the Harrah's Philadelphia petition for renewal of its 3-year race meet license. We've submitted our application, which outlines the details of the purposes and reasons why we believe that Harrah's Philadelphia should be renewed again. We also have a pending petition for our electronic wagering petition, which I know is before you as well. You should have a brochure at your table with you, which has some slides on it. And for purposes of presenting that, I would like to turn that over to Barry Brown, the Director of Racing.
Good afternoon. So I will start with a little bit about our recent performance at Harrah's Philadelphia. In recent years, as you can see on the first slide, our export simulcasting, sign out, and live racing handle has remained very steady and strong compared to industry standards. We made some adjustments on our number of race days, working with the Pennsylvania Harness Horsemen's Association. And that is attributed to the numbers staying as strong as they've been. We've been able to keep our purse structure where we want it. We've been able to run the number of races and number of days to support that. Also this year, 2025, our import program, which is also known as Sign In, is up 52%. Now, we were helped out by 2 of our local competitors closing their OTBs, but it's great to see our race book and grandstand with the larger crowds, and we certainly tried to capitalize on those folks being at the property. Our relationship with PVG FanDuel Racing dates back to 2010. That's when we launched our electronic wagering and the partnership with them. We just recently also extended that agreement with them, a long-term extension. It's been a partnership between us and them that has been very beneficial for them, for us, and we believe racing in Pennsylvania. Again, I also referenced the fact that our daily purse is right now about $140,000 a day, and that's with 14 races. Efforts to drive visitation, bringing people out to the property, events at the racetrack. So I'm excited to talk about in 2026, bringing back a promotion that we used to run called Last Man Standing. I'm going to run that on Sundays. Essentially, it's a survivor pool. Those of you that are familiar with survivor pools in football, it's a survivor pool for the racing operation at Harrah's Philadelphia. It's a very simple entry blank, and the customers, the regulars love it. And they get to pick anywhere from 7 to 10 races, and if the horse that they select finishes in the top 3, they advance to the next race. So, and that's a promotion event that we worked on, and will work on in partnership with the Horsemen's Association. They've supported that in the past with us. 2 times rewards in 2026, bringing that back as well. Essentially, that is incentivizing our guests on property in the race book to bet on live racing, right? We know we have a large amount of thoroughbred fans there. We're trying to get these folks to place a wager on harness racing, and if they do so, their reward points would be 2 times the amount if they bet on live racing. So that is something that has worked well for us. Sunday family days. So we have 4 months, 5 months of Sunday racing in the spring and summer where we get decent crowds, and we're able to do a lot with those Sundays, or try to do a lot with those Sundays. When I talk about family days, I'm talking about catering to the kids, right? So we will have a face paint, a balloon artist. I know henna is the big thing these days, so we had that multiple times last year. So that is something that we'll do again. There are certain Sundays that works better than others, right? I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Holidays. So Mother's Day and Father's Day are our 2 best on-track live racing days. We actually have more people there on Mother's Day and Father's Day than we do on our Stakes Day. It is really a great sight to see when our bar is packed. Every seat on the grandstand patio is filled up. And again, on those days, that's when we really come hard with the family day, with all the face painter, balloon artists, all of that. This past year, we added a new twist on Mother's Day and Father's Day. We started grilling on the patio. It was a great hit. In fact, the first time we did it, we didn't have a great expectation of how much supplies we needed, and they ran out quickly and had to run back and bring more out. So we're learning from doing that. So again, great crowds on Mother's Day and Father's Day, and a great opportunity for us to try to hit those people and get them to return for future days. Sire Stakes, this year coming up, we're going to move it back. The schedule looks like it will allow to the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. This past year we ran it on a Friday. It all based on the way the calendar plays out and trying to get the legs in during the summer. By the fact that Labor Day is a week later this year, I'm able to put we have the 3-year-old finals this year. We'll be able to put them on Sunday, September 6th. Again, that allows us to do the things that I was just talking about. We get a good crowd for those days, and we can do a lot of things on the patio. So I'm excited that it'll work out, that we can have the Sire Stakes on a day like that. And then, of course, our Kentucky Derby Day party, as it is for every property, for every racetrack. It is the largest crowd of the year. It's awesome to see the amount of people that come out on that day, and we do all the traditional things with the hat contest and all of that. This year, the one thing we are going to do a little different, and again, this is based on past years, we're going to race live racing a little later in the day. In past years, we would wrap up live racing around 4:30, and honestly, we have customers missing the racing during the 2 hours from racing ending and the Derby actually going off. So this year, we're going to run pretty much up to within 30 to 45 minutes of the Derby going off, and that'll keep our crowd engaged and engaged on live harness racing. So excited about trying that this coming year. Community and industry relations. So Caesars Entertainment has been for the past 5 years the title sponsor for the Dan Patch Awards down in Florida, in Orlando in February. We have recently extended that commitment to the Dan Patch Awards to USHWA, I believe for another 3 years. So we are well represented, and when I say Caesars, we have 5 tracks, Harrah, Philadelphia, plus 4 tracks in the Midwest. And then also locally at Harrah, Philadelphia, my mutuals team, and they do a great job with it. We hold 4 events every year for an organization called Alex's Lemonade, raising money for childhood cancer. And actually we're going to have the last one of the 2025 season this coming Sunday. So it's been a great partnership with that organization. Improvements over the years at the property for racing. So we had new John Deere tractors a few years back, but just more recently, In 2024, we have a new paddock heating system, a new paddock pump station. In 2025, we installed a new paddock sound system, new simulcast TVs across our race book, and a significant amount of money refurbishing our water truck, our front end loader, our dump truck, and much of the equipment that we have. So looking ahead now, 2026 specifically, we have applied for 110 days of live racing. That 110 days goes from April through December. Basically, it's a 3-day-a-week campaign, and by doing that, it allows us to keep the purses where we want them. It allows us to keep the amount of races and the horse population strong. So we're excited to run that 110 race days moving into April 10th, the opening day. So specifically for 2026, an event that is very, very important to me personally and also for the property, we will be celebrating 20 years at Harrah's Philadelphia, formerly Harrah's Chester, in September of next year. I have been here the entire time, so I remember that opening day in September of 2006 very well. So I'm looking forward to the celebration. We're going to run on a Saturday night. That is not a normal day for us. We're going to run on a Saturday night instead of the Sunday that weekend. So we're going to do a lot of nice things for our fans. Still very much in the planning stages. Looking forward to working with the PHHA on that night, recognizing obviously their efforts and contributions to the success of the racetrack over the 20 years, and also the staff. I have, I believe, 7 staff members that have been with me the whole time, so looking forward to doing some nice things for staff as well. Kentucky Derby Day, which I already mentioned, is a major event for us. Look forward to that. Specifically also on Mother's Day and Father's Day, we have a gentleman who hails from Doylestown, PA. He'll be on property on Mother's Day. This will be, I believe, the 4th year. He's an Elvis impersonator. And I will tell you, it is probably the best promotion we do all year. Every year I get customers when I'm standing out on that patio thanking me and complimenting me on how much fun they had listening as this guy just walks around and entertains the fans in between races. So looking forward to having Elvis again on Mother's Day. And the same guy that does the Elvis comes back on Father's Day, and he plays oldies music, although we've had to extend oldies now into the 80s because 80s is oldies now. So the music that I'll hear will include some of that. Family Day, which I talked about, and also something really cool going on in the race book. We have a new grandstand concession area. It is now called Trackside Bites. We just opened it. We're still working on launching it. It'll really have its biggest impact in 2026 racing season. All kinds of great stuff, a variety of different hot dogs. The menu says New York hot dog, the Boston hot dog. Don't ask me what's on the specific hot dog, but all different kinds of hot dogs. Several menu items, fried chicken, all of that, and that'll be centered around the race date, so that'll be 2026. Harrah's Invitational Sunday, which is Memorial Day weekend. That is our traditional invitationals, and I already spoke about the Sire Stakes on Labor Day. So we respectfully request the renewal of our racing license and our electronic wagering license. Thank you.
I would just add, before you start questions, I was remiss, and I forgot to introduce James Spurlock, who is the property's financial officer, chief financial officer, who is also here with us. Didn't want to forget that, but certainly open to questions. Thank you.
Same question.
So as Joe spoke about, CAW wagering represents a significant amount of handle. It does at our place as well. We currently go to the ballot. We have not made any adjustments. I will tell you that, as I alluded to earlier, Caesars has 5 racetracks. I know this is a topic that the Caesars Entertainment Group is going to be discussing when we're down in Florida for the Dan Patch Awards. That's an event every year that all the Caesars properties, we congregate, hold essentially our annual racing meetings. I know that's on the topic. It's going to be on the agenda to discuss as a group, as a Caesars group, and that'll be in February. So I know that we all are worried about, we don't want to lose, as you said, we don't want to lose the money, but at the same time, we want to make sure the public perception is where we want it to be. So it'll be up for discussion as a group for Caesars.
Great, thank you.
I have a question about your participation at those Father's and Mother's Day. Only because I have a concern, actually at all the tracks, about the participation during the sire stake events. Are you doing anything different for that than you do for promoting the sire stakes?
When you say participation, you mean attendance?
Attendance, yes.
Yeah, so those days naturally bring out good crowds, but what we've also tried to start doing in recent years is Caesars has, actually all the properties, but our property has a mailer which promotes the various events. So we are now including, whether it be Mother's Day, Father's Day, or Invitational Day, the sire stakes being on a Sunday will allow us to do that. So we are trying to let the database know, the various events that are going on, Derby and all of that.
And I compliment you on the new food on the patio. Excited to hear about that.
I wanted to congratulate you on 20 years and remind Sam and thank him for the fact that he provided me with the first horse to set foot on the track.
And didn't we gave you a picture of that as well?
You did.
Correct.
Yeah, it's still
At the 10-year, we gave you a picture of that.
Piece of history.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar question, just looking forward, right? So you laid out to your term, just crystal ball, you see the picture, what does it look like?
So a couple things, two things I'll mention specifically. One, which I already a little bit touched on, we've had to make adjustments with race schedules, right? Because what you want to do, like Joe was talking about, is keep these field size strong. So we have not shortened the length of our season. The length of our season is the same as when we were racing 150 days. We're going April through December. Essentially, we become a 3-day-a-week racetrack instead of a 4-day-a-week racetrack. And that allows us to put the product out there that we want. Also, something else which I think is important, a few years back in our partnership with FanDuel TVG, they added a single wallet for their sports betting customers to be able to bet, easier to be able to bet horse racing, horse or harness racing. I know Caesars Racebook, which is the Caesars platform, is also doing the same at some point with the single wallet. So that's another way to try to tap into another group of possible horse racing bettors, make it easier for them. We know they bet on the Derby, but we want them to be able to bet, more than just the Derby. So.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate the updates. Penn National.
Chairman, Commissioners, Chris Mackerlane, CHRS, MEC, capital ERLEAN, Vice President of Racing for Penn Entertainment.
Alex Vista, ALEX, HDI, ZDA, Regional Director of Compliance.
Scott Lisha, SCMP-LIS, HIA, Director of Racing and Sport Club.
Thank you for the opportunity to address the Commission. Penn Entertainment, I think you know, owns both Penn National Hollywood Casino, Penn National Racecourse, and the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows. We're going to sort of combine both these presentations together. First with Penn National and the Mountain View Thoroughbred Racing Association, Penn National Turf Club. All the requisite information was submitted for our license renewals, and I think everything was in order from there. Just from an overview point of view, Penn Entertainment, I think people are familiar with the company. We're based here in Wagering, Pennsylvania, down the hour east of here. And Penn National started with the Penn National Racecourse just up the road in Granville, Pennsylvania, 1972. And the Penn National's been associated with that since the beginning, through the 80s with simulcasting, the advent of account wagering. Penn National was at the forefront in that. Full card simulcasting in the late 80s and 90s, and then the expansion of off-track betting, which I think most people know, but that pretty much fueled the original IPO for the company, for Penn National Gaming, as it was known at that point. Its off-track betting locations in Reading and then Chambersburg really allowed the company to get financing to really set the stage for where it's become today. And that diversification went into other racetracks. We purchased the Charlestown racetrack in the late 1990s, and then they diversified even further into riverboat casinos and land-based casinos in the late 90s into the 2000s. Kind of set up that model of the racino model at multiple locations across the country. Penn continued its acquisition and growth throughout the 2000s. In 2010, our eBet telebet operation turned into Hollywood Races, which went nationwide. We're now in 24 states across the country. We did acquire a large company by the name of Pinnacle Entertainment in 2018, which allowed us to bring the Meadows into our portfolio at that point. And Penn National was also in the forefront of sports betting, online sports betting, retail sports betting in the state of Pennsylvania, and online casino gaming. We were at the forefront, the first company to institute both those important steps here in the state of Pennsylvania. So Penn National's always been at the forefront. The company's been a trailblazer since the beginning. Continue that into this decade. We acquired the Score, which is really kind of the ESPN of Canada. We acquired that company in 2022, and we also opened up Category 4 casinos, quote-unquote mini casinos in both Morgantown and York, and rebranded the company as Penn Entertainment to reflect our diversification into, again, sports betting, online. I think you have obviously read about the different forays that we've had with Barstool and ESPN Bet, and now we are going to be rebranding our online as The Score here in the United States. And it's a very popular brand in Canada as well. That'll be happening over the next several months. So Penn Entertainment, definitely a large company. It's publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and has certainly been a fuel for setting this company up in terms of its size and stature. Horse racing has been a huge part of Penn Entertainment. Again, starting with the Penn National Racecourse. We're the largest operator of pari-mutuel racetracks in the country. We have 10 racetracks in 7 different jurisdictions. Again, the 2 here in Pennsylvania with Penn National and the Meadows. We have 4 off-track facilities in 3 different states. As I mentioned, the Hollywood Races, National AEW, our electronic wagering application is also on the agenda today for both Penn National and the Meadows. And just to give you a perspective of how much business we're involved in horse racing across the country, we have 950 live racing days at our 10 racetracks on an annual basis. Nearly $1 billion wagered either at our racetracks on live or simulcast wagering, or on our races across the country through export simulcasting. And we're also involved very much on the national scene. Both myself and several of my colleagues involved with the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, the NTRA, Equibase, USDA, United States Driving Association, and HISA. So we're definitely not only involved very deeply in horse racing here in Pennsylvania, but across the country as well. Turning to Penn National Racecourse, as I mentioned, started in 1972. The Carlino family was there from the outset, first having one of the racing associations, and then bought the track out in the early 80s. We have over 100 racing dates there and 860 stalls. Great contributed to local charities and economy. Both Alex and Scott will talk about those items. We're the hosts of the Grade 3 10 mile, $400,000, 1 mile, 3-year-old race on the turf. All-time record handle, 5.7 million 2 years ago in that event. Since 2008, when gaming started at Penn National Racecourse, we exceeded the statutory minimum in improvements under Act 71, with an initial investment of $10 million and additional investments of over $6 million in racing-related capital over that time period. Obviously, a big contributor to the Racehorse Development Fund, as well as to the state pari-mutuel taxes. Mentioned that we have 2 Category 4 casinos, one in York, one in Morgantown. Both of those offer pari-mutuel wagering at those facilities. We had a successful OTB in York, right down the road from where the current Category 4 casino is. We're the only non-racetrack location in the state that has casino gaming to also have pari-mutuel wagering there. Those facilities do fairly well, and we're glad to provide that additional amenity at those locations. I'll let Scott talk a little bit further about our partnership with the HPPA, but we do have a letter of support from them for our renewal. We appreciate that in the relationship with Todd Mostoller and his board and the HPPA. And one other thing, equine safety is obviously a big issue today. Our track superintendent, Jake Leitzel, he's on the HISA track superintendent's committee and works very closely with them. And we're very proud of our safety record. It's a team effort with horsemen, with the track, but over the past several years, we've been able to keep our equine fatality record below the national average over the past several years, and continually focusing on that to improve those numbers on a regular basis. I'll let Scott from the racing side with Penn National, and then Alex with our community involvement in special events, give you a little bit more perspective of what is being done at Penn National Racecourse.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the commission. I've been on board here for about a little over a month now. When we hit the ground running, when I came in, we started our negotiations for working on a calendar, which I believe you have been submitted. I know they have. Working closely with the HPPA, Todd Mostoller, and the horsemen, we went through a lot of different iterations of calendars and things, and I think we came up with something that, although everybody didn't get what they wanted, something that will work moving forward for this year. We're excited. We have 105 days submitted. Big days for us are always Derby Day, our Penn Mile at the end of May. Ostrich, camel, zebra, maybe 3 or 4 other different animal races that I know is a very big day. We're trying to program in July. And then from a just perspective in general, I think moving forward there's a lot of opportunities with the way Penn National is structured, physical building, physical apron, to try and do some extra things out on the apron, have conversations about maybe Friday evenings, events out there with music and maybe beer specials and things like that, just to drive people. When we looked at our calendar though, we wanted to be, one of the priorities was being consistent. It seemed like there were a lot of breaks and a lot of, I wouldn't say shifting of the days. So as we start our calendar in 2026, we will begin the last week of February, 2 days a week, Thursday and Friday, easing into it because we will not be racing in January for those first 2 weeks and then the first 2 weeks of March. And then we'll basically carry a 3-day-a-week calendar throughout the rest of the year. Minor tweaks, Derby Day, obviously, we're racing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We will go right up to the week of Labor Day weekend. And then we're going to take about a 5 to 6 week, I think it's a 5-week break off, come back in October with those 3 days a week again, finishing up the day before Thanksgiving. It gives consistency. We all know that gamblers are creatures of habit. They sit in the same chair, they watch the same TV. And we want to try to keep our product consistent out there for everybody. And I think with the efforts of the horsemen and with us at Penn, I think there's a great opportunity to move forward, do some creative things, and I'm looking forward to this challenge as we move ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just briefly on the charitable out front. So I've been with PNRC for 10 years, and then the last 5 years or 6 years that we've owned Meadows, worked with Scott out there, and now back over here. The charitable outreach is a great way to get new fans out to racing, as you know things are getting we're getting economic headwinds. We've been really focused on creating low cost or no cost family entertainment with the track. So at Penn National Racecourse, we do the camels, ostrich, and zebra exhibition races in partnership with the HIWU. That's one of the biggest events of the year. We could easily get 8,000 to 10,000 people out there. We'll be doing that again this year on Friday, July 3rd, 2026. But we've also, we have both direct giving and then we have the local share assessment fund. So in terms of direct giving, we support New Start. We also work with various equine therapy programs. So we support down in Equiteam Support Services and Leg Up Barn. And then here in Grantville, we've created a really awesome partnership with Capital Area Therapeutic Riding Association, both in terms of fundraising, but also they're only a mile away from the casino, so our team members get out there, we work on the farm, helping out, and then they actually bring for our events their mini horses and mini donkeys over to the track, and then when we have events with families, they can bring their kids out. We recently had our annual Pink Out Night at the races, where we deck out the entire apron in pink, and we have different specials, and we were able to present another $10,000 check to the PA Breast Cancer Coalition. So lifetime, we're about $125,000 with them. And then 2 weeks ago, we had the Penn Heroes Night at the races. So Penn Heroes is a subset of our Penn Player Rewards program that's for veterans, active duty, and first responders. We were able to donate $20,000 to the Grantville Volunteer Fire Company that serves us in that area. We were able to donate gift cards to Central EMS, who's our trackside EMS, and then Pennsylvania Veterans Trust Fund, which is run out of Fort Indian Town Gap, which is literally on the other side of the mountain from us. We were able to donate $120,000 to them, and we're approaching $500,000 in direct donations for that. We were also able to that night, we used to always have the mountainside dining room there. We're trying, COVID, that obviously went away, but we've been bringing it back. So to kick that off, we did an $11.11 buffet for all veterans, active duty, military, and first responders. And using that space for these buffet dinners is something we're looking to do more in the coming year. And then on the LSA front of it, I'm good at tedious paperwork, so we've been helping some of our charitable partners apply for those funds. So CACT's been able to get over $50,000 to get equipment to maintain their mission. We also supported the Penn State Health Community Nursing Outreach, which provides fresh fruit and health screenings for our backside families and workers there to get them access to medical services. So whether it's our direct giving or our help with the LSA, we're committed to expanding that relationship, both for the customer who wants to come in and have some family-friendly live entertainment that's affordable, and for our racetrack families to be able to continue to provide that entertainment.
We do also want to take the opportunity, Tony Verbeil, who's the Vice President and General Manager for the Hollywood Casinos here as well. Tony, he oversees the entire Pennsylvania or central Pennsylvania region for us, including New York, Morgantown, as well as several other companies. It's brought definitely a new approach in terms of making the Penn National Racecourse a destination with different events. You may have seen our successful concert series there over the past several years, and trying to integrate more events happening at the property, at the track. Tony was also the general manager of Meadows prior to coming here, so very well versed in Pennsylvania racing from that standpoint. If I could, because I think probably, I assume some of these questions would be the same, if I could go into maybe the Meadows side, do that, unless there's any specific Penn National questions, and then we can hit, I think it's germane probably for both tracks. Awesome.
You know, Chris, it's the same question.
Yeah.
Difference in timing of when the CAWs come into the fold.
Sure. If I could, I'll certainly answer the question. If it's okay to maybe go into the Meadows side. Do theirs first. I can answer for both.
Okay.
Let's do that.
It'll be the same answer, so I think it'll be easy to do that if that works for everybody. Hollywood Casino at the Meadows, which is the Washington Trotting Association and Mountain Laurel Racing Association, is applying for its 3-year license. Again, we've submitted all the requisite paperwork for those licenses. I do, on the team's call, is the Vice President and General Manager from the facility, Matthew Heiskell, and also Scott mentioned he's just started at Penn National. Scott was previously at the Meadows as Director of Racing. We have a new Director of Racing. His name is Michael Carter. He'll actually be starting next week, but he is on the call as well here. Hollywood Casino at the Meadows, again, I think everybody's very familiar with the facility. It was actually it's the oldest continuously operating racetrack in the state, founded in 1963 by the great horseman and ambassador for harness racing, Delta Miller. As I mentioned before, Penn acquired the Meadows in 2018 as part of the Pinnacle Entertainment acquisition. This year, for 2026, we're going to be applying for 169 racing dates, very similar to this year's schedule. We're one of only 4 harness racetracks in the country that race 12 months out of the year on that. As you may or may not know, we're the only only harness racetrack in the state of Pennsylvania who has a currently operating backstretch. We have approximately 825 stalls on the property, and the electronic wagering license for the Meadows will be on this agenda later. We've had a long-standing partnership with, it used to be called ExpressBet, now it's FirstBet. They're one of the top 3 AEWs in the state. We've had a very successful relationship with them over the years. From the racing side, the Meadows is very proud to be the host of the Delvin Miller Adios Pace. Harness racing, thoroughbred racing, I think everybody's familiar with graded races. Have been long-standing there for a number of years for breeding purposes and quality purposes, separating the best races offered. Harness racing actually started that effort this past year, and happy to report the Adios was granted Grade 1 status, one of only 5 3-year-old colt pacing events in the country to be given that honor, and it's been reapproved for 2026. So we're very proud of that. That's the signature event, signature day, property. Anybody who's been out there, it's a great family festive event. Last 2 years ago, we did 1.5 billion, which was a record. We were on a record pace this year. We had an unfortunate one race this year, which was no contest because of an accident which, fortunately, nobody was hurt, but we had to refund the wagers for that race. If that didn't happen, we probably would have had a record handle for this year. It was broadcast live on Fox Sports as well, which was a great partnership with the MSOA. We appreciate their help and coordination, and not only that, but all the marketing and special events out of the property. Games started in 2007 at the Meadows, and as you can see, again, exceeded the Act 71 requirements, plus additional enhancements, continual enhancements to the property. And as Alex had mentioned, local charitable giving, almost 170,000 this year. We have 30 full-time people working in the racing area, several $1 million in payroll. It's a big economic driver for the local economy in western Pennsylvania. As I mentioned, I do have Matt on the call. If Matt would want to add any other items regarding the meadows or things that are going or planned there, certainly if you'd like to add anything to that, Matt?
Sure, I'll just have a brief note. Matthew, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, high school, H-E-I, S is in Sam, K-E-L-L. I just wanted to say thanks for the opportunity. Apologies for not being in person. I had some pre-approved family time and I'm in Texas right now, but honored at this chance to talk about the Meadows. As Chris mentioned, long history of pride in representing the sport and business in Pennsylvania, and look forward to continuing to do so. We have continued to invest in racing, and just since our last renewal, with some significant investments in AV, in particular, large new video board and some paddock area improvements, just to name a couple, and look forward to continued investments in improving the product and experience so we can capitalize on some really solid results that we've had over the last few years. And as Chris mentioned, some excellent adios results in particular. Also really thoroughly appreciate the partnership with the MSOA and with the Commission. Great partners and relationships we're really proud of. Looking forward to continuing those and ensuring Meadows has a great experience and the chance to do so. And finally, it's a time of transition for us. We will miss Scott, but thrilled to welcome Michael into his new role to lead us into this new and exciting period for the Meadows. And thank you for the chance to address.
Thanks. Thank you, Matt. And I believe in your packets there is a letter of support from the Meadows Standardbred and Owners Association. Again, we appreciate the good working relationship we have with them and look forward to that continuing in the future.
You know what the question is?
Yes, sir. Okay, yes. So the answer in terms of do any is Meadows or Penn National cutoff wagering for the CAWs, at the current time the answer is no. As again we've mentioned, Penn is involved across the country with many tracks, harness, thoroughbred, and this is a hot button issue for the industry. It's it's unfortunately everything in racing it's multi-layered, and there's no one simple answer. We're definitely looking at the pros and cons. I've shared with Tom in the past specific numbers associated with our tracks. It is a significant part of handle, as it is with most racetracks nowadays. Cutting off just win wagering solves one part, but it does create other issues, unintended consequences with those CAWs then focusing that much more money on other pools, which creates disparities in payouts, which again kind of just shifts the issue. And there's different ways the industry could respond, whether it's cutting off early, whether it's changing the pricing to those companies, possibly tiering it in some way. So I think you're going to definitely be seeing more of this. People maybe trying to make tweaks. We're looking at it closely because we understand what the issues are and the perception, as everyone else has said, but it's also countered against trying not to, from an economic point of view, put racing or put our racing financial situation in a bad spot as well. So it's trying to find that balance.
Do you have communication with those large
Yep.
schools, and do they have specifics that they say you can't do this, or what's?
Are you talking about the companies themselves, the CAWs?
Yes.
No, we have communicated. Again, I think everybody is or should be aware that several of those companies are actually owned by other racetrack organizations. The Churchill Downs, Harrah, and the Stronach Group actually own the three largest CAWs in the country. So we communicate with them on a regular basis. Again, there's a lot of back and forth. Sometimes those discussions can be tense from that standpoint. But no, I think everybody realizes this is an issue, as there are many issues in racing. You know, this is certainly a big issue, but there's many big issues in racing. Unfortunately, probably getting to Russell's next question.
You're leaning right in. Go ahead.
Yeah, just trying to do the segue. There are many big issues in racing, you know, that unfortunately, you know, one track, one company can't solve. Racing hasn't been great in the past, working together or doing stuff that's for the, you know, the common good. And again, we're as guilty as anyone from that standpoint. So it's different. There's a lot of stakeholders. There's a lot of you know, vested interests. But the, you know, the industry is challenged. I mean, it's struggling even with all the benefits of additional gaming and you know, opportunities, you know, for expansion, breeding, the economics of breeding, the economics of racing, staffing. Staffing is a huge issue. Qualified staffing is a huge issue. New owners, new fans, the wagering, the technology. I don't know if we have 2 or 3 hours here. It's you know, the crystal ball is cloudy. You know, there's a lot of challenges. It's a great sport. It's a great business. Everybody who's in it is passionate. Wants it to succeed, but it's got to change to succeed too, I think, and that's that finding a way that making the changes work, you know, for everyone. That's the challenge. So, yeah, we're committed to being part of that, and you know, hopefully everyone else is as well.
Thank you.
You say there's 800 stalls there. How many horses do you have there? Is there, have you noticed a decrease or an increase?
Yeah, I want to say that there's probably maybe 500 to 600.
Around 5, yeah, I would say around 500. We did just recently we got an influx of some bushmen from out in the Midwest. They traditionally, you guys come in, and I think there were a few new ones. So yeah, probably around 500, maybe a little bit more.
Do you want them to have an increase?
We would love to have. I'm sorry for speaking like still work there. Yes, we would love to have more horses come there if they could. You know, it's kind of an economy of scale. You move there, you own a home out here, you're living there, you're renting, you know, and it has to work out from a business perspective. But those stalls are there, and we do actively look for people, and we have when I was there, and I'm sure that'll continue when Michael comes.
Thank you.
Questions?
Well, as Chris said, you know, I understand all the challenges you face. It's a challenging business, but you know, I just wanted to say, I'm not looking for an answer, but as a standardbred horse owner and regular attendee at our standardbred tracks, and only seeing 50 to 75 fans in the stands and apron, it's become a concern to me that we can't do more to get people to the tracks. You know, I understand that's a part of the business. I know the major interest is in generating capital, but I'm just looking for ideas about what we possibly can do to get more people to the tracks.
No, it's again, I think from our side too, you know, we want to see more people there. I think, you know, it's, you know, we race 100, and at least at the Meadows, it's close to 170 days a year, so it's very hard, you know, to make every day, you know, like the Super Bowl, you know, it's not every day you're going to be happy to spend it. But we can certainly do more. I mean, again, when Tony was at the Meadows, he wanted to create an outdoor space that is now the Embers area, which I think you're maybe familiar with. To kind of create an atmosphere, you know, near the track and a relaxing area, you know, things like that. I think we can do better on. You know, we try to work with the MSOA on different events and promotions. But yeah, we can certainly do. You know, I think everybody can say they can do more. It's it's tough to get people interested in racing, nowadays. There's so many different options, and, we make it very convenient for people not to come to the track. And, maybe we did that too well, from that standpoint, so.
We have these great facilities, they're beautiful, but, like I said, it's really, really disappointing to see the attendance. I mean, it's just.
And it's, again, it's not just tracks here, our tracks, or tracks in Pennsylvania. This is I visit a lot of tracks, we have a lot of tracks in other places. It's a challenge every day. I mean, the Saratogas and Phoenix and Oaklands of the world are anomalies in our business. It happens in, New York as well. There's very small crowds there as well. So it's a challenge for the entire business.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for the
presentation. To each of the presenters, license renewal discussion, I think this last point about just how do you find this equilibrium, right, between sort of what was envisioned by the development of horse racing and Act 71 and where those investments occur, and how do you, at the same time, you want to entertain folks, right? They're not coming otherwise, right? So how do you do that? You can find all kinds of creative ways. My takeaway, if you listen to the presentations, there's a lot of history here. Right? There's a long history of where tracks started and their development. There's a tremendous amount of innovation and creativity that's been expressed, in Pennsylvania and by Pennsylvanians. Certainly the quality of that product. I listen. You're concerned about that quality and the number of race days. At the same time, it's got to be a quality product, right? It's got to entertain. So. And just a final point, I think we forget at times a couple of things. One, those connections between sort of what the sort of legislative intent was in the creation of racing and expanded gaming, and the need to find that both agricultural and the equine connection and the breeding components with the rest of that product presentation. And then two, just to say that there's a tremendous amount of charitable and community giving that I don't think we should miss that point. That we don't often talk about it. It's always encouraging to hear it and see it. So thank you for doing that. So let's jump in. We've got some administrative actions here, and then we'll pick up with the operational matters. So, okay, Tom, do you want to pick up on administrative actions?
Mr. Chairman, we need a motion to approve the 2026 commission meeting schedule.
Second.
Commissioner Rogers on the motion, Commissioner Sweetie on the second discussion. Hearing none, those in favor of approving the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next motion, Mr. Chairman, is to approve the simulcast calendars for the harness tracks for December 2025. That would be for Harrah's, Philadelphia, Mohegan Sun and Pocono Downs, and the Meadows.
Thank you. We have a motion for the harness tracks. So is that Commissioner Brenheiser on the motion, Commissioner Hoffman on the second. Discussion. Hearing none, those in favor of approving the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
Next motion is to approve the simulcast calendars for December for the thoroughbred tracks. That would be for PARX, Penn National, and Presque Isle Downs.
So moved.
Dr. Sweeney on the motion, to the second. Commissioner Jones, discussion of the motion. Hearing none, those in favor of approving the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next motion, Mr. Chairman, will be for the operational approvals for each of the racetracks. I'll read one, need a vote for each one.
Each one.
The first operational approval is for Penn National. The request is for 105 live days in 2026. Their request also includes approval of officials for 2026, takeout rates for 2026, wagering format for 2026, and the simulcast in and the simulcast out for 2026. Motion, please.
So moved.
Do a motion.
Second.
Speaking on the motion. Commissioner Rogers? Yeah, Commissioner Rogers on the second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next one is operational approvals for Presque Isle Downs. The request is for 76 live race days for 2026. Request for approval of officials, takeout rates, wagering format, and simulcast in and simulcast out for 2026.
Thank you, John. We have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Hill is on the motion, Commissioner Sweeney on the second. Discussion of the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next is operational approvals for PARX. The request is for 150 live race days for 2026. The request also includes approval of the officials, takeout rates, wagering format, simulcast in, simulcast out for 2026 for PARX.
Thank you, John. We have a motion.
So, second.
Commissioner Jones on the motion, and Commissioner Sweeney on the second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next is the operational approval for the Meadows. The request is for 169 live race days in 2026. The request also includes officials, takeout rate, wagering format, simulcast in, simulcast out for 2026 for the Meadows.
So moved.
Commissioner Rogers on the motion, Commissioner Hoffman on the second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next one is operational approvals from Mohegan Sun and Pocono Downs. The request is for 128 live race days. Approval for the officials, takeout rates, wagering format, simulcast in, simulcast out for 2026 from Mohegan Sun and Pocono Downs.
Thank
So
you.
moved.
Commissioner Brandheiser on the motion, the second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Jones on the second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
The last operational approval, Mr. Chairman, is for Harrah, Philadelphia. The request is for approval of 110 live race dates for 2026. Request for approval of the officials, takeout rates, wagering format, simulcast in, simulcast out for 2026 for Harrah, Philadelphia.
Thank you. You have a motion. Commissioner Hoffman on the motion, Commissioner Brandheiser on the second. Discussion. Hearing none, those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, licensing, council.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Presently before you are 5 race meet license renewals for the listed racetrack facilities on the agenda. With the Commission's permission, I will read one proposed order which will apply to all the racetrack entities listed on the agenda. However, I will seek a separate motion for each racetrack facility for the record. Please note that in accordance with Section 9311F of the Racing Act, the granting of a race meet license or renewal is subject to a qualified majority vote, which means that for thoroughbred facilities, the standardbred commissioners must abstain from the vote, and for the standardbred facilities, the thoroughbred commissioners must abstain from the vote. The proposed order reads, and now this 25th day of November 2025, pursuant to the provisions of Section 9318 of the Racing Act and Chapter 181 of the Commission's regulations, the above licensed racing entity filed an entity application for renewal for its 3-year license to continue to conduct horse race meetings with parimutuel wagering under the jurisdiction and authority of the Commission. The license to conduct horse race meetings shall be issued for a period of 3 years and shall not be granted automatically. In accordance with the statutory authority, the Commission reviewed the race meeting license renewal application and supporting information from the licensed racing entity to determine the suitability of the licensed racing entity, its owners, officers, managers, or agents. To that end, the Commission finds that the ongoing participation in horse racing by the above licensed racing entity is consistent with the public interest and is in the best interest of racing generally. Therefore, in accordance with Section 9318E3, the Commission, in its judgment, hereby grants the above licensed racing entity a renewal license to continue to conduct horse race meeting at which pari-mutuel wagering is permitted for a period of 30 years. It is further ordered that the Commission's approval is issued upon the general conditions set forth in the Act and with the following specific conditions. 1. The above licensed racing entity shall provide written notice to the Commission of any modifications, changes, or amendments to the contractual terms of its live racing agreement with the horseman, no later than 15 business days after such modification, change, or amendment. Number 2, the above licensed racing entity shall seek prior written approval from the Commission to make any subsequent modifications, changes, or amendments to racing operations, the physical facility, or marketing initiatives. Number 3, the above licensed entity shall provide written notice to the Commission of any modifications, changes, or amendments to its horse race meeting license renewal application no later than 15 business days after such modification, change, or amendment. Accordingly, as to Mountain View Thoroughbred Racing Association and Penn National Turf Club, I seek a motion for that approval.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioners Sweeney on the motion and Commissioner Rogers on the second. Discussion.
Okay, and for the record, the Commissioner Brennheiser and Hoffman will abstain.
Okay. Thank you. So the motion and a second. Discussion of this motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? 2 noted. Right? Mr. Hoffman and Commissioner Brennheiser.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank
Okay,
you.
ran too fast. As to Ben Sutherland Racing Association, Inc. and Keystone Turf Club, Inc., I ask for a motion for that license renewal.
So moved.
Who gave this? No, Commissioner Blunt. Got it, thank you. Okay, and second, Commissioner Sweeney. Discussion of this motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the Ben Salem Racing Association and Keystone Turf Club motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. And abstentions? Again, Commissioner Brennheiser and Commissioner Hoffman. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. As to Chester Downs and Marina LLC, I seek a motion for that approval.
So moved.
Commissioner Brennheiser on the motion, Commissioner Hoffman on the second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
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 And we need 2 abstentions from Commissioner Jones and Commissioner DeBondo.
I just abstained.
Yeah. You're good. Those opposed, same sign. Abstentions? So Commissioner DeBunda and Commissioner Jones. Correct? Correct. Yeah. Motion carries. Thank you.
As to Mount Laurel Racing, Inc. and Washington Trotting Association, Inc., I seek a motion for approval.
So moved.
Thank you. Commissioner Rogers on the motion, Commissioner Brennheiser on the second. Discussion. No discussion. All those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Those abstaining, Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Bunsen. Motion carries. Thank you.
As to Downs Racing LP, I seek a motion for approval.
Thank you for the motion. Commissioner Hoffman on the motion, Commissioner Ellis on the second. Discussion of the motion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Abstentions? Commissioner Jones?
Obviously.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, before you are the electronic wagering petitions for 2026 for those following listed entities. In this instance, I will read one proposed order which will apply to all the racetracks seeking approval of their electronic wagering petitions, and will seek one motion to approve all the 2026 license renewals. There will be no need for abstentions in this matter. Accordingly, the order reads, and now this 25th day of November 2025 pursuant to sections 9351B and 9353 of the Racing Act. The above licensed racing entity is seeking to renew its annual license to engage in electronic wagering under the jurisdiction and statutory authority of the Commission. Pursuant to section 9351B2, the renewal license is valid for a period of 1 year commencing January 1st, 2026. In accordance with the authority set forth in the Act and its regulations, the Commission reviewed the renewal petition and the supporting information from the licensed racing entity, including any subsequent changes from its previously approved license application and associated fees. In addition to the enumerated conditions, rights, and duties of licensure set forth in the Act, the Commission hereby directs that the licensed racing entity shall promptly notify the Commission of any material changes or modifications to the submitted renewal petition and supporting documentation. Based upon the Commission's review and consideration, it is hereby ordered that the above referenced electronic wagering license renewal petition is hereby granted for the year 2026, and that could be done as a motion.
It's a motion in block.
In block.
So
Yeah.
moved.
Okay, Commissioner Sweeney, thank you. Commissioner Ellis on the second. Discussion of the motion, which is to approve electronic wagering petitions for 2026. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
That's all I have.
That's it?
Yep. Good night, man.
Just another thanks to the staff. I mean, there's a lot of work in the petition review, and certainly in the licensing and volumes of information that comes in as reference. So another thanks to the whole team for reviewing these and putting us in a good place today. So thank you. Okay, let's do some further industry updates.
Okay.
Right,
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Sure. We'll try to keep it brief. Chris McElwain, I think, is going to do the Meadows. Chris?
Chris McElwain, CHRS, MCERLEAN, Vice President Racing for Penn Entertainment. Not much to report in Meadows, except we did our racing days, we appreciate the Commission approving those. As mentioned earlier also, Michael Carter, who was Assistant Manager of Racing Operations at Northfield Park for several years. He's President of USHWA, that's his Harness Drivers Association, won a Rising Star Award several years ago from that organization. He's joining our team as Director of Racing in Meadows, so he'll be starting next week there. We do have a little bit of a change. In January, we have 4 days a week racing. Normally it's been 3, and then set into our regular 3-day-a-week schedule for the winter time. And we are getting some interest. I know Commissioner Hoffman asked about the barn area horse population. We have been getting a nice influx of horses from upstate New York, 80 Downs coming down. So hopefully there'll be some new faces, fresh horses coming in from the racing season then.
Thanks, Chris. Mike Salter, hold on, Mike.
Thank you, Tony. Commissioners. Just wanted to thank you all for the approvals granted here today. We appreciate that. Our 2025 race season ended this past Saturday. We had a strong year. Happy to report there were 0 accidents on the track at Pocono this year. That's something that we can contribute to our track group, and we certainly appreciate what they do. So much. For that, we're looking forward to a good next year and get ready to do it again.
It'll be here before you know it.
It will be here before we know it. And happy Thanksgiving to you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Barry Brown from Harrah. Barry?
Thank you all for the approvals for both race license and electronic wagering. At Harrah, Philadelphia, we return to racing this Sunday, the 30th, and then we'll have a full month of racing in December to wrap up our season. We will go straight through New Year's Eve. Both in December, we race both Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Both have traditionally been great days for us. Last year on Christmas Eve, we set our all-time record of 1.6 million in handle. And New Year's Eve, we run a 4 o'clock post time. So we're looking forward to that, and that'll wrap up our season for 2025.
Thanks, Barry. Joe Wilson from PARX, Joe.
As my colleague stated, thank you for the approval given this afternoon. I appreciate the open and frank conversation. Always look forward to that. Tomorrow we have our pre-Thanksgiving Stakes Day. We have 5 stakes, races 6 through 10. 2 of them are $100,000 PA-bred stakes, including the nursery. We're doing a mandatory distribution on the Philly Big 5, so hopefully it does not get hit today. So I can enjoy that. And happy and healthy, safe Thanksgiving to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Scott, Penn National.
Scott Lisha, COTTLISHIA, Director of Racing. And we're winding down our season as well. We'll be shifting the end of this month into December with a Thursday, Friday for 3 weeks, ending on the 19th. Just want to first reiterate and thank Nicole for all of her help with this process moving forward. She was a huge help. I had to kind of reinvent the wheel this year, so she was a great help, but much appreciated. Also, and I'm sure Todd might speak to it, but we had a caretakers event at our track here last week. I think it went over really well. I know that everyone really appreciates the people that do all the work. And as much as trainers say they do it, we know that the caretakers are really the ones that do all the work. And no offense to anyone at all. But just moving forward, getting ready for Thanksgiving, we'll be racing tomorrow and then again on Friday this week. And then, as I said, finishing up, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And for Secretary, I hope you shoot straight and often after Thanksgiving.
That's my goal. You got it.
Thank you, Scott. Matt Ennis from Presque Isle. Matt, are you on?
Hi, yeah, Matthew Ennis, M-A-T-T-H-E-W, last name E-N-N-I-S, Senior Director of Operations at Presque Isle Downs. We ended our season approximately 3-4 weeks ago. Happy to report our export handle was up $5 million year over year. We feel from an export perspective we had a very successful season. We also introduced some earlier post times at the Commission's approval, with the Commission's approval I should say, and introduced some earlier race times, really to appease the area community. Those were very well attended events here in the community. Look forward to repeating that with the post times I submitted for 2026. Our backside has been vacant effective last Friday. We're prepping our barns for our Erie winters and look forward to next mid-April when we open the backside and begin racing mid-May. So thank you for your approval, Commission, on our electronic wagering license and look forward to our 2026 season. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Mike or Sam for the PA?
No report, Tony. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. Donnell Mock from the MSOA. Donnell?
Hi, Donnell Mock, D-A-W-N-E-L-L-E, M-O-C-K. Just we had a really great caregivers day here. Everyone appreciated their hoodies and hats that they got, and we did some raffles and free lunch with the Meadows as our partner. We're looking forward to welcoming Michael Carter on and can't wait for him to start, and just wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. So thank you guys.
Okay, thank you, Donnell. Jeff Matty from the PTHA. Jeff?
Thanks, Tony. This is Jeff Matty, J-E-F-F, Matty, M-A-T-T-Y. Just 3 quick things. One, just want to thank Ashley and the team. Our Caregivers Day was very well received by our horsemen. Had a great event last week. We do this in partnership with them, obviously, and Joe and PARX, and it's just a great day every year. It gets bigger and better every year, so thanks to all those that make that possible. As Joe mentioned, very much looking forward to our partnership with PARX Racing on a new turf course for next year. Our board is very, in a time when our board has disagreed about a lot over the years, this was one thing that we were all in agreement on. So very much looking forward to 2026 and the options for our turf. And then last but not least, this is an election year for the PTHA. So all of our membership, we sent out roughly 2,200 ballots and a new board of directors, as well as a president, will take their new positions the first week of January. So looking forward to that, and I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Todd?
No report.
No report. Do we have Mike or Jim Simpson from the Standardbred Breeders?
Mike Simpson, MikeSimpson. I know that many of you joined us across the street at the Farm Show building earlier this month, and we had the best Standardbred sale in our 87-year history, and would like to thank everyone who participated.
Thank you, Mike. Brian, you're up. Brian Sanderson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Secretary, Commissioner, staff. In your packet, the first page, you'll see the slot revenue to the Breeders' Fund is up approximately $1.6 million. And again, most of or a good portion of that increase is because of money not being paid out during the budget. I attended a state breeders workshop from Mid-Atlantic region down in Churchill right after the Keeneland sale. There was about 60 different representatives from different states in the Mid-Atlantic region. It was put on by the Jockey Club in Togo. There were a few issues that were talked about. The same issues pretty much across the board as far as state breeders are concerned. Funding issues, mare's bread, foals on the ground. They talked about a couple of things that other states were doing. For example, Maryland and Virginia are actually having meets where they both are putting aside money so that Breeders' Award can be paid in each state. So when Colonial runs its meet in Virginia, Maryland Bred Racing during that time will receive Breeders' Award, vice versa. According to and they did say they know that that's a problem with certain legislation. We can't pay Breeders' Awards in other states, but I'm contacting Virginia to see, what it is, if possible, that we can do to pretty much string out our funding. They also talked about a new rating system. The Jockey Club has rated every single horse that's run, I think, at least 2 times. And they said that holding races for horses within their same ratings, for example, everyone between this rating and this rating is allowed to run in that race. It gives horses an opportunity that might be out of their conditions, an opportunity to race. So that's something that I know a lot of the tracks, as far as claiming is concerned, will say that, well, we want to be able to claim those horses. Well, it's not doing away with claiming. It's just adding a little bit extra in there for those horses that are out of their conditions. So something that we can talk about. Let's see. Also, we had our annual dinner for the Stallion Farms down, Stallion Farm managers in Kentucky. We talked about our program and how lucrative the Pennsylvania program is. We got some good response there. But TaylorMade, which is one of the premier standing farms down there, basically he just came out with a new program where they understand that some of the stallions that they have can't compete with some of those higher ranked stallions down in Kentucky, and they want to try to improve their progeny earnings. So what they're doing is they're taking 4 of their stallions and they're saying, we're not going to charge a stud fee if you go to that stallion and register that stallion in a state-bred program other than Kentucky. So again, serves them in the fact hopefully the increase in progeny earnings. But also, one of the important things is being able to get a good stallion in Pennsylvania. So if something works out where a certain state might be breeding to those sires and have a couple states winners, etc., it allows them to say, hey, it might not be a bad situation to stand that stallion in Pennsylvania or any other state that's in there. Okay, and the last thing is the Mid-Atlantic Thoroughbred is attached. We have a grade 2 winner in Pennsylvania, Kappa, and real good article in there, and our stallion boarding farm directory for 2026 is online. Sorry I took a little longer, but I wanted to go over those issues. Any questions for me? Brian Sanfratello, BRIAN SANFRATELLO. Thank you.
That's one we always say do for last, we just have one additional. We have a request for public comment from Dr. Langlois.
I interrupt for 1 second. This is Seth.
Commissioner Devine?
Call at 3 o'clock, so I wanted to say I'm leaving, but I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you.
Brian, B-R-Y-A-N, and last name Langlois, L-A-N-G-L-O-I-S. Thank you again to the Commission for allowing me to make comment. On November 11th at PARX in race 2, horse number 8, horse named Summary Judgment, went into the gate at odds of approximately 5-ish, 4.5, 5-ish to 1. When he broke from the gate, he lost the rider, horse and the rider were fine. But at the next click of the odds shot up to approximately 8 to 1. What this gives is the impression of what we call pass posting, where somebody saw this and was able to cancel it back after the horse left. Created quite the stir on Twitter. Ed DeRosa, who works for Horse Racing Nation, picked up on it, and he actually showed through graphs how that horse's odds went up. And usually when you see that happen, other horses' odds come down, since you're dealing with a pari-mutuel system. It didn't seem to happen in this case. If you dug a little bit deeper, it didn't look like anything nefarious was going on, but it gives, again, that public perception of people are able to beat the system. So what I'm kind of asking, and I think what a lot of us are asking, is if the Commission can look into this, just make sure that nothing happened, work with the tow company, find out exactly how the betting patterns were done, and then report back in a public way. The second part of that, I would ask the Commission to kind of look into a way for people that have questions about situations like this that arise to report their concerns to the Commission so that they can be investigated. I know we do it a lot, and there was a phone line set up for people concerned about integrity issues on the horse welfare side of things. I think there really should also be something on the wagering side of things for integrity there as well, because it is a concern. And every little bit of public perception that we see, this did get kind of blown up a little bit on social media. People will see it, and it's just another thing that we have to try to battle to try to get more people involved in wagering in the sport. So that was the only thing I had, and thank you all, and wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you on part one, and we'll certainly investigate that. Part two, the hotline is open for all reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, so if there's a concern, they can clearly use that to check it every day, right? So thank you. All right, anything else?
I think it would be nice to recognize Heather Wilder, who I believe is the president of the Pennsylvania Harness Writers Association. She was just named Person of the Year for the United States Harness Writers Association. And she does as much as anybody to promote the sport in our state.
Yeah. Excellent. Let the record show. Excellent. Good news. Okay, just a couple of endpoints, just a note of thanks and congratulations again to the licensees and the approvals. Thank you for being here. Certainly helpful conversation. I don't think that should be just every 3 years. To be honest, I appreciate the conversation today. I think it's clear that over the 3-year license period, there's going to be another continued significant changes in how we engage and how we talk about that and represent that. At the same time, look at those historical pieces for Pennsylvania. At the same time, recognize you've got to respond to international pressures, human pressures. But thank you for being here. Note of thanks to staff again for the work of preparation, also to Tom and Tony, just HISA and HIWU and daily operations. Thank you for that, and certainly to the commissioners. I appreciate your continued work and support in furtherance of the racing industry. Deer hunters, be careful. Good luck. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. We'll see you back here on December the 16th for the next meeting. Okay? We have a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Everybody said yes. Thank you.